Hey, it's Kevin. Thank you so much for stopping by for the No BS social media chat. You know, those of us who've been around the social media game for a while, well, remember what happened with MySpace. And we've talked about MySpace. We even devoted an entire episode to the demise of MySpace back in the day. And I've always said it's important not to marry yourself to one particular social media platform, social media site. Now, it's one thing to use it and to utilize it and to have a great time with it. But if you come to depend on that social media site for your online relevance, well, you could do yourself harm, possibly down the road. People who were big Vine users this week are finding out that, well, all that work and effort they put into all their Vines is going to become moot here very shortly, as Twitter announced they were shutting down the social media platform Vine. And I actually have some friends who've done very well and amassed good followings on Vine. I've always, I don't want to say struggled with it, but I've always said focus on the big four. Focus on your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube, and your Instagram. And that big four can change. I mean, back in the day, it was probably just the big one with MySpace, and then Twitter, and then Facebook and Twitter came around, and well, maybe then the big three, and YouTube picked up. You know, it's ever evolving, and I think that's the one lesson we learned from the loss of Vine. Yeah, it's tough if you've had success, if you've built a following on Vine. What do you do with those people? Well, you hope you can transition them to other platforms, but the question is, are you really utilizing other platforms as important? All the time I run into potential clients, just people in general, and when we talk social media, they talk about, well, there's one in particular site they do very well with. And I said, well, that's great. What happens if it shuts down tomorrow? Sure, Facebook's not going to shut down tomorrow. They're making way too much money. But, then again, when Vine was bought by Twitter, did anybody think they were going to shut down? And at the same time, if you've been following anything online about Twitter, they were trying to sell themselves basically to a bigger company to stay alive, to stay viable, and they didn't have any takers, so they've had to cut back some workforce. Hence, I think part of the reason why Vine is going away, and also too with some of the features added to, well, Instagram with their boomerang feature, kind of made Vine a little bit less relevant. Snapchat, or if you prefer Snap as it's called now, is one thing, and they've really hurt Vine. And I think both Vine and Snapchat came about around the same time, and while they're both social, are they really good for networking? Are they really good for building your career? And again, no matter what your career is, whether it's a professional business person, whether it's a media person, whether it's a music person, whatever it is, were they really good to build that fan base? As I've always said, it's one thing to do well on the social media sites. It's one thing to have a great amount of followers on Facebook and to really be able to interact with them. And now you got the Facebook Live video that really adds to the punch. But at the same time, Facebook owns those people. Facebook can shut it down, can shut a feature down, can do whatever they want. And yeah, even as people threat with those memes, they can actually start charging someday. I know they won't. They're making too much money to be able to do that, and they lose so many people, and it's all about mass tonnage for them. But at the same time, you never get married to a particular site. Sure, I've got some clients who have massive, and I do mean massive, follower bases on Twitter. You know what? Twitter could go next month, next year, 6 months. It could change. It could become no longer viable. Maybe the big four to the big three. And we've got to think about those things. If it is, hey, you move on. What's important, and I always say this, building a database of emails, building information about your followers that you control, that you have the access to, even if you're using a tool like Constant, like Emma, like Constant Contact, like so many of the sites you can use for that stuff. You can still download all that information, and you still have all the database information about your people. So you own that data. You don't necessarily own the platform. And at the same time, your website, very key. Do you have a website, both professionally and personally? Having a place online is most important. Sure, it's great to utilize these tools. It's great to utilize these sites. I've had great success with Instagram. We've done very well with Twitter. We've had up and down with Facebook over the years, and we've built followings with YouTube. But again, always in the back of my mind, they're going away. They're just temporary. And if that happens, I'll be ready. And I think the announcement that Vine is going away, well, it caught some people by surprise. Didn't catch me. It was like, oh, well, there goes another one. One less platform to invest in. So you don't have to worry about following my Vines at Kevin Mason on Vine, because there weren't that many, to be honest with you. It was a fun toy, but that was about it. Think about the impact to what you're trying to do with social media and utilize those sites. You want some input, you want some thoughts from somebody else who knows a little bit about it? It's absolutely free. Pick up the phone, send me an email, shoot me a text. I don't care. My phone number, My contact information, it's coming up next at the end of the video. If you want more videos, well, they'll be right here again next week. You can find us nobssocial.com. You can find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook. Again, wherever you found us this week, catch us again next week. We'll see you. Thanks for stopping by for the No BS Chat.